The first symbolic meaning of our passage was that it points to the future banquet where we will celebrate our marriage to Jesus Christ, our bridegroom, in fulfillment of the prophecies that God's relationship with his people would change to be more like marriage than slavery. The second meaning is that the gospel of Jesus Christ and the free grace he gives supersedes the law. The wine of the new covenant has superseded the water of the old. And back in chapter 1 of John's gospel, we were told that from Jesus Christ's fullness, we have all received grace upon grace. For the law was given through Moses, but grace came through Jesus Christ. The word upon there, grace upon grace, in Greek has the sense of something being replaced or superseded. The grace of the gospel supersedes the grace of the law. The law has grace in that through it we know how to follow God in righteousness. That's gracious, because God has chosen to let us know how we can please him and live in peace. But the law cannot save us. It can only condemn us, because it shows us that we are incapable of following God. You just can't do it. You can't pretty much go a single day without sinning, it seems. And even when you do something good, there's often sin lying beneath the surface. So we do something good and you start to feel prideful. Oh, I'm so glad I did something good. You know, you give to the poor and you think, oh, that was good of me. I gave to the poor. So even the good things we do are corrupted by sin. So the grace of the gospel, however, supersedes the law. Like how in this passage, wine has superseded water. Because unlike the law, the gospel truly does save us and truly will cleanse us. And that's why in 2 Corinthians 3, which we also read from, Paul says that there was glory in the law, but that the glory of the gospel has surpassed it. The new covenant promises salvation to all who simply trust in the righteousness, grace, and mercy of Jesus Christ. This is why we say we're saved by faith alone. That's why in Romans 3, Paul says that through the law, all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. But now we are justified by his grace as a gift through the redemption that is in Jesus Christ. Come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden, says Jesus, and I will give you rest. So returning to our passage, what was once ritual water imposed by the law, which was never actually able to cleanse us, but in fact could only convict us of sin, has become gospel wine. Fear has turned into celebration. By using the stone jars to house the wine, Jesus is saying we are done with this. We don't need to take a bath and cleanse ourselves in order to enter the temple. In the new covenant, we're already in the temple. Jesus is our temple. And in him we are clean. The stone jars that were once used to cleanse you over and over and over again have been turned into barrels of wine used for celebration and joy. In a wedding, we vow to love our spouse for better or worse, rich or poor, in sickness and in health. Jesus, our bridegroom, knows full well that we are worse. He knows that we are poor. He knows that we are sick. And yet he chose to be joined to us in love. So we don't need to work to earn God's love or become righteous in his sight. And what a joy that is. So if you ever catch yourself thinking that God won't love you until you stop swearing or stop being angry or stop drinking or stop watching pornography or basically until you stop sinning altogether. In other words, if you catch yourself thinking that God won't love you until you cleanse yourself from that stone jar, then turn that ritual water into gospel wine. Let joy replace your fear. Yes, you do need to work on yourself to stop sinning. But God isn't going to love you once you hit that standard. He loves you regardless. When you sin, when you stuff it up, when you fail, Jesus, your bridegroom, still loves you. And so with that, let us approach this table and drink the wine with joyful hearts. Amen.